Oh God, Laura Loomer, you sweet, sweet pumpkin, honey. She used a filter, and whoo, that ain't you.
What? I understand what you're saying. No.
There it is.
Let's hear it.
Well, let's hear it.
Talk to me. Uh-oh.
Beadle and Decker, taking on sports talk like no one else. Michelle Beadle,
I'm just helping. I'm helping America one by one.
Cody Decker,
I 100% believe in revenge. Revenge is a great thing.
Back to the sports.
back and ready for more.
Every time I tune them out, they pull me back in.
It's Beadle and Decker. Here's Michelle and Cody.
Hello. We did it.
That's right. We're back,
it.
baby. Oh my God, that was fun. How are you?
I mean, I can't even
Michelle?
get. I feel like my computer's behind anyway, so works for me. Huh.
Yeah,
Oh God, and it's loud. Jeez Louise, get it together.
of course.
Get
it's
it
loud.
together.
Of course, it's loud. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Beadle and Decker. God, Michelle, it is great to see your face after a wonderful, rousing week of Radio Row that I know you cared about it just as much as I did.
Lots of great products pimped out. Same 7 guests recycled, and nerds pretending they were cool. I loved it. No, I
Oh.
actually I avoided a lot of it, but unfortunately, social media, you don't avoid all of it. Like I purposely didn't listen to certain shows, but oof, it's still all over the old socials.
Well, Michelle, it's very hard to not pay attention to certain shows, especially when you're around people like Spiro and all of the great interviews I did this week. I don't know what to say. I know I'm singling out one particular guy, even though I don't dislike him as much as other people do. But I will say, I did see a plane flight that was flying back. That, honest to God, I was like, oh, what a worthless flight.
It looked like sardines trapped in a death chamber. By the way, didn't you go on that flight last year?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I sure
you
did.
couldn't pay me. Couldn't pay me.
It was not fun. It was not fun, to say the least. What I did was I just got super stoned so I can just not talk to anybody, and I felt really good about that decision, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Well, Sirius was so cheap; they don't even pay for good cabins on flights. So I paid out of pocket for all my travel, basically. Yeah, I still would rather pay $2,000 to fly for business class back to New York.
And that is just flat out the right decision. I wish there was something else I could say. It's just
Dear
flat out
God.
the right decision. So Michelle, how was your week last week? I haven't seen you now in 2 weeks. It is great to see you. How
Great.
have you enjoyed, more than anything, before we get into, of course, the Super Bowl of it all and the weekend that was of it all and the state of the world of it all?
My God.
Holy shit. Just how was your week of just wonderful weather here in LA?
Yeah, it's been like you have to make yourself go outside for about 15, 20 minutes because it's perfection. It was good. It was like it kind of flew by. I mean, I think the first couple days was like, ooh, this is long. And then it flew by, which I guess is the way. But I was in a little bit of a funk for the first few days of the week, but now we're back, baby. We're back.
And that's right. Thrilled to have you back. And of course, as the week goes forward, Michelle is going to be here, just so you guys know, twice this week, today and Wednesday, fired up each time I have Michelle, obviously. It's a gambit that I ever get to talk to my friend Michelle Beadle. And later on this week, we're going to have Tyrone Johnson. We're going to have Keithy Rizzeri co-hosting. We're going to have Jen Piacenti returning to co-host. It's going to be a very, very fun week here on Beadle and Decker. So let's just... holy shit, Michelle. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of it all, because I don't know what to say other than that shit was boring. So boring.
Yeah.
Was there anything you enjoyed in this Super Bowl? Because I'm not going to lie to you, Michelle. I flat out didn't. I was bored to tears. The game sucked. There was nothing. We knew there was no zhuzh coming into it. But Jesus.
That does, you know what though? Just because there's no zhuzh doesn't mean we couldn't have been pleasantly surprised. If it was a regular Sunday game, there's zero chance I would have finished watching that game. Zero. But because I was also clinging to the hope that the commercials would somehow get better, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here. I did, however, pick up my old knitting needles that I last used during COVID and was like, I'm gonna go ahead and reacquaint myself with how this works, because I'm not changing the channel. I want to sit here because I guess it's a form of FOMO on the off chance that an actual good commercial airs. I don't want to miss it. Yeah, once halftime came and went, it was like, oh God. I felt trapped. I was like, I
Mhm.
have to actually sit here and keep this shit game on the off chance anything happens. We got a streaker. I suppose that is
Yeah, but we didn't
that's
get to
something.
see them. They didn't. They
Well,
like. I get
thank
why you're
God
not
for the
showing them.
internet. I know.
I
Well, do we get it at this point? Do we get it? Why aren't we showing them?
to keep other people from going on the. All right, actually, I do have an answer to this question. No. Hear me out. Hear me out, because as much as you might as well show them at this point, because it would have been the only entertaining thing that happened on the field during
Thank you.
the play. I don't know what to say other than, as a former athlete, where we were in meetings for these things. I shit you not. We had full-on meetings every spring training where they actually told you what you needed to do when a person comes on the field, whether it's a streaker, whether they're fully clothed, whether it's a male, whether it's a woman. And I hear what you're saying. Who gives a shit? It's a streaker. But like, I will say every league is so terrified of someone being attacked because you don't know what weapon they have on them. There are
He
examples
should
of
have
people
no.
getting
By the way,
attacked.
he should have no weapons on him. Is there not top-notch security to get into the damn stadium in the first place? Where would he have found said weapon?
In his ass, maybe? I don't know. Did you not see what he was? That guy was evading capture for quite a while.
Yeah, but he also was laughing his ass off with like the hairy chest and no shirt. Like I had zero qualms about how this was going to end up playing. I'm just saying, if you have a shitty, boring game,
Yeah.
then show me something. Show me anything. That was a fail on NBC's part, as far as I'm concerned.
You know what? Listen, I know you. Time. I know you have personal vendettas against certain companies.
Yeah. Oh,
But
actually, no, not the whole company.
You're right. I
one.
apologize. I don't want to speak out of turn.
Yeah.
It's more though. This was an entire fail by NBC in my examination. I didn't enjoy how the game was operated. I didn't enjoy, and I don't blame the announcers. Obviously, you know, those are two very damn good announcers. They made the most of what was on the field, I guess, but they seemed more bored than I was, and I was fucking bored.
I feel like, well, in the case of Tirico, I don't even understand his February schedule, because didn't he like host the Olympics from the field immediately following the end of last night's game? Like
He did.
I don't. It's a weird spreading thin of their folks, but whatever. Not my problem. Ain't my wallet. Yeah, I just. It's hard, man. It's hard when you're given a dud of a game. Like it really is difficult, because you have to sort of toe the line between. Yeah, you are bored because you're a human being watching the same garbage we are. But if you're too exuberant or enthusiastic, then we're gonna mock the hell out of you, because we're gonna be like, oh, okay, company man, trying to sell a shitty product. But then again, it's like I wish there was a little more edge to some of the announcers. Just maybe have that one wild card that can kind of be the honest rogue one, the Charles Barkley, if you will, that says it like we all see it and can't get in trouble for saying it that way. But it's tough. And we'll get to halftime, but without halftime, that was an unwatchable afternoon of product. Like it just really was boring. And I don't blame anyone necessarily. It just all came to be together embarrassingly boring. And the commercial part also we're gonna get to, because wow, are we spending a lot of money on celebrities without any kind of creative behind any of it? Any of it.
Holy shit, I'm glad you said that, because we're going to get way into that. Just, but I do agree with this comment right here by Chad. Super Bowl felt like a Thursday night game in September. And dude,
which I didn't watch at all.
You ain't fucking lying. It just wasn't a good game. Although there were things I did like, which of course we'll get into. But before getting into the things that we did absolutely like, let's bring in Shane real quick. Because Shane, was there anything that you personally enjoyed in this football game?
Yeah, I mean, I like a good defensive battle, and that's what we got, but it was more like bad quarterback play instead of a defensive battle. I want good quarterback play that's overshadowed by the defensive play, but last night, Drake May his poor play was the one doing the overshadowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a second-year player.
He's a baby.
Not the end of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 turnovers were what they were. It was just an ugly game. But here's the funny thing is, I didn't see a ton of people going after Drake May. I did, however, see a quarterback from the Los Angeles Rams go after Sam Darnold for some reason.
Wait, what did I miss?
Michelle Beadle, what is wrong with our guy Puka Nacua? He seemingly wants to be the biggest asshole in the world now.
What? But he doesn't even have the anything, the face, there's nothing about him that screams villain. I don't even know what he said. I saw him drunk off his ass in a TMZ video about 20 minutes ago, leaving the Super Bowl or party.
So he tweeted out at the end of the game, with crying face emojis saying Sam Darnold crying face emojis, of which Sam Darnold just did win the Super Bowl, of which one of Sam Darnold's teammates actually put out a tweet like saying something along the lines of, "Bitch, aren't you home?"
That's about the only response needed, quite frankly. Yeah, you had a chance.
Ernest Jones, right after the game, it quote tweeted, it said, "Aren't you home, goofy ass?"
By the way, goofy ass is underrated as an insult because it's childlike and yet still hurts a little bit.
I think my favorite tweet I saw last night about the game, and Michelle, I don't know if you saw this tweet at all, but the tweet said, "This was the worst Super Bowl that has ever happened to a man named Drake since, last year."
I did. Poor Drake. He's never going to live it down.
No, he's really not. All right. So let's get to the things that we know for a fact we did like, Michelle. So let's go ahead and get away from what we can only describe as one of the most boring football games I've ever seen. Fair. And let's talk about what wasn't fucking boring. Holy shit. Holy shit. Bad Bunny. I don't care if he didn't sing a song in English. I don't want him to. I wanted him just to put on a show, of which he did. And when I say that I was really proud of myself, because one of those big moments that, was a deeper meaning, a little bit of a motif, that electrical pole thing, like right when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's definitely a reference to the power outages. And that is some good shit. And just the entire atmosphere of the entire, this was like what The Weeknd tried to do, but The Weeknd is not Bad Bunny. And this was just a story that he told.
See, I don't even think Weeknd tried to do that. I think Weeknd's sort of like an artsy fartsy kind of, his was more like a solo act. I think what Bad Bunny did was, and I know this, by the way, I want to preface this. Imagine, if you will, and we'll get to the fact that the orange one was actually watching the Bad Bunny halftime and not the, as they called it, Clanchella that was happening on God knows what internet site. So we'll get into that. But that being said, imagine, if you will, watching a festive, colorful, vibrant party with some of the sexiest people I've ever seen dancing all over the place, a lot of hot women, and walking away from that angry. Now imagine also, if you will, that when somebody comes out with a message of unity and love and that we are stronger together, what kind of chode you have to be to actually find offense in that? Like, what does that say about where your heart is, you fake Christians, that actually inflamed something in you that you were mad about? And the language thing, man, music is music, dude. I listen to music from all kinds of countries since I was a kid. I couldn't tell you I don't speak German. I had German CDs back in the day. I don't speak at the time I spoke no Italian. I have some great Italian CDs. Mozart, last time I checked, 0 lyrics, considered one of the greatest musicians of all time. Shut the fuck up, hillbillies. How about this? How about either learn a couple words in Spanish if it'll make you feel less left out, but somehow I don't think it's the Spanish that's making you feel left out, but it's just enjoy. You had to go out of your way to be mad about that yesterday. There was nothing to be mad at. Nothing. It was beautiful.
Let's go through the list. Let's just go through the full fucking list. One, this is mind-boggling. One, I did think this at the time, but I'm like, no, it can't be that just happened. That was a real fucking wedding.
I know. You know what's funny about that is I was texting with my girlfriends, and when they showed the couple, I remember briefly going, those are not actors. Like, that felt way too sort of just, those are regular human beings I just witnessed. So I texted them. I was like, you don't think that wedding actually was real, do you? Because there was the proposal, fast forward to like a dude actually performing a wedding. And I'm like, I think it could have been real. And then not even 25 minutes later, we had the confirmation that I was hoping for. I was like, yep, that felt okay. That's cool as shit. Next brilliant idea. You go on, Bad Bunny.
Yeah, everyone, you can't get married anymore because that's a bar that none of us could fucking hit. You got married by Bad Bunny at the fucking halftime show.
And by the way, for those who are concerned and filled with hate, it was a heterosexual couple, so you don't have to at least cry about one thing that happened yesterday. But there was enough other stuff for you to cry about. Let's keep it moving.
Plenty. I can't believe that there was a man not speaking English gyrating his hips. How dare he?
Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Ladies and gentlemen, at the ripe age of 20 whatever that I was, I had to watch Scott Stapp and Kid Rock get blowjobs on a bus together doing bro shit.
Wait.
Please, by all means,
Also,
clutch your
thank
pearls.
Thank you, Michelle, for forcing me to relive it yesterday too, because I saw your post. So naturally, I retweeted it because it's good to remind people
Yes.
just how sexy Kid Rock is.
Just Christian values. I want to make sure that we're all aware what it means. Well, it was 20 years ago. That's just a rock star doing rock star shit. We can't keep doing this. The goalpost can't be one for pedos and criminals over here. And then the goalpost over here is, oh, those dancers are dancing too sexy. Like, what? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't care,
by the
man.
way-
The numbers say what the numbers say. Eat it.
Oh,
Eat it all.
no, we're gonna get into them fucking numbers too, because some of the numbers might not be what you have read on the fucking Elon site, to say the least. So let's continue the conversation. Before we move off of Bad Bunny, just overall,
Never.
that was just an awesome performance. It was one of the few times that I've watched a performance that I really felt like I was getting a story. And those of you, and by the way, it's not my story, it's someone else's story, and I was enthralled by watching this story. And the fact that people can't suspend their willing suspension of disbelief for just a minute to understand that other cultures exist. And at the end, the ending with the naming every single country in the Americas and God bless America all the way to Canada. It was
that.
fucking beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. I loved every second. And by the way, I got a little excited though, because I don't know a ton of Bad Bunny music, but then a couple songs said, I'm like, oh, know this one. Oh, know this one.
Oh, if you listen with just little, there's enough in there. I mean, I maybe I wrongly assumed most of us have a little knowledge of Spanish at this point. Maybe that's just my San Antonio talking. I don't know, but like, yo, it isn't that hard. It's not that deep. Move your hips, chill, and like just enjoy the music. Because as far as productions go, it was like 99 Broadway shows put together on a gigantic field. Like he really crushed it. Like I can't believe this was so freaking polarizing that this is the world we live in. The stuff that you should be mad about doesn't seem to make people flinch, but we're going to spend a week yelling at each other about music. A halftime. All I want out of the halftime show is that I'm not bored. That's literally all I'm asking. Don't bore me. And I was not bored last night. I enjoyed it so much.
And instead, we have to listen to the Paul brothers debate whether or not Puerto Ricans are Americans. What a bunch of fucking idiots.
Can I say something about that?
Please.
Yeah, it's a weird world where Logan Paul is, either one's a smart one, but we got to listen to that. I'd like Puerto Rico to do the funniest thing. I figure out some loophole where you can kick his ass straight off the island. Because for whatever reason, Jake Paul made a home there. He's got a compound there. I'm sure there's some incentive for also why he chose there. I would like Puerto Rico to kick his dumb white ass right the fuck out. And I know, it's America. Yeah, no, but you know what? Do it, Puerto Rico. Figure out some sort of tax loophole, some sort of crime that he's committing. I don't care. Find it and get him out of there. Because the audacity to make your home on an island and then turn around and just verbally bash the biggest star from said island globally. And secondly, if you ever really looked at his face, Jake Paul's, can we just not, like, there's no world in which I look at that face and I think, oh, I wonder what kind of a brain that is and what it's thinking. I've never once done that in my life. If derp was a face, that's it. That was it.
Big old derp face. And it's just unbelievable. But also on the show, you got to remember, Boxer Serrano, who is Puerto Rican, that has been working at a lot of his fights, had to put out like a 4-page statement, basically shitting on that thing on his initial statement. This is just wild. Again, if you go back and watch that halftime show, and you found a single thing divisive, that says so much fucking more about you than it does Bad Bunny, me, Michelle, or anyone else on the fucking planet. That was like a really beautiful, beautiful performance. I loved it. Lady Gaga was fantastic in her spot.
The casita was packed with celebs. It was
just,
it was rolling. They were rolling last night. Killed it.
Pedro Pascal, you had Jessica Alba, you had Cardi B, and I was waiting for Cardi B to bust out a microphone. No, I'm just here for the cookout.
That's what's funny is she was the first person when the camera started to follow and pan. She was the first like celebrity, and I'm like, I assumed she was just gonna, they're gonna do a song together, and then she didn't. I was like, that's even cooler, actually. Alex Earl was there, by the way.
Chad says, I don't mess with white girls, but Lady Gaga, good lord.
Yeah, she looked damn good.
She did. She did look fantastic.
Also a gigantic global superstar. I hope that Grant Biltley or whatever the hell his name was at the other halftime show.
Hey, listen, Lee Bice, Bo Bice, Liam Price.
Shout out Daily Show. They put Google McBobbles. I don't know who any of you are. The exception of the one, and don't want to know that one. So
well, from one amazing halftime show, let's go ahead and talk about the other really sweet one that we got to
the Temu version.
Listen, I don't listen. If you had to turn the channel, well, you couldn't go to X, and it was funny that Turning Point had to announce on X roughly 15 minutes before it started that they couldn't get the rights to put it on Elon's site. But
that's crazy to me, by the way.
Insane. But this is where it gets fun. Now, a lot of you, and by I say a lot of you, there's a little bit of a question: just how many of you did turn over to watch an older Kid Rock sit around lip syncing in what I can only describe as macramated jean shorts? And he was lip syncing the living shit out of these songs.
Oh, he put his mic down numerous times when the words were going.
Because, Ball with the Ball is just such a lyrical masterpiece. He just he can't do it anymore. I don't know what to say other than this might be the most secondhand embarrassment I've ever had. You know what the actual real secondhand embarrassment I'm having is the amount of people that after I laughed at that on Twitter, the amount of it was only 20, but it was just 20 people that I just felt a cringe for going like, oh, I'm watching it. It's amazing. I'm like, Jesus, you're watching Kid Rock on YouTube in 2026. That is the most embarrassing fucking sentence I've ever said out loud.
Tell me you're bad at sex without telling me you're bad at sex.
Tell me you've never had sex without telling me you've never had sex.
Oh, no, they've had it. Whether it was transactional or forced, that's a different question. But it was definitely had in some form capacity.
You ever see Artie Lang's Beer League?
Yes.
There's a lot of that movie. He's like, how many women have you had sex with? 75. How many of them that weren't whores? 7.
That's actually
not a bad number, all things considered.
I would have. I can't. I don't even know what to. I am trying. We're just all trying to get through this, y'all. We're living in a world with 3 million pages of some of the worst descriptions of humanity and what they've done to children and girls, and the president of the United States is named in that document more times than anybody else in said document.
More times than Harry Potter's name is said in the Harry Potter books.
More times than Jesus in the Bible, y'all. And yet, what we spend an entire week arguing with each other about and calling each other names. And boy, do I have some fun DMs this week. Again, the distraction is real. For those of you who are stupid enough to still be distracted, God bless you. Hopefully you're done breeding. But it is just it's mind blowing to me. And just acting like Kid Rock. You got what's that dipshit's name? Franklin Graham. Is that the pastor? One of those criminal pastors?
Right. Yeah.
The audacity, sir, as the face of one of the most criminal cartels in all of history, to come out here and tell me about what Christian values mean and how you'll be watching the Turning Point, led by the widow who 2 weeks after said husband was slain for all of us to witness, has been just giddy with profit margins. Please tell me more about how Kid Rock is the savior of Christian love and what music should be about, you hypocritical twats.
Yes. Do you know what a piece of shit you need to be?
Yes.
That I look at you next to Joel Osteen and be like, maybe Joel's not a bad dude. That's what a piece of shit. No.
Cartel.
He's a very bad dude. But by comparison.
I mean, by the way, we forgot to mention Ricky Martin. They're right.
We did.
Ricky Martin, who looked amazing. My friend's like, I know I'm not his type, but I still would. I was like, yeah, well, he wouldn't. That's the point. Who cares if
Let's
you
be
would?
real clear.
Looks damn good.
Ricky Martin looked very good. He looked very good. And another thing we haven't touched on yet either, because we've been spending so much time on the halftime show, which, by the way, thank God for this halftime show. We'd have nothing to talk about on the Super Bowl if it weren't for it.
It's actually true. You're right. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I could give a shit about talking about Sam Darnold's and Drake May's terrible numbers in this game. It was like a snow game, only it was in San Francisco.
Good point.
Unreal.
Yeah.
But I'd be remiss if I don't mention there was a actual great rock performance yesterday. Green Day opening the show, which, by the way, I even tweeted this out because I just couldn't help myself. It's amazing how many people yesterday found out what a dumb fuck they are.
Dude.
You heard American Idiot yesterday and didn't realize the song that was released 22 years ago, which, by the way, I want to reiterate, is titled American Idiot.
Like, bruh. It wasn't even a riddle. Like, I get Bruce Springsteen's song confused a bunch of people for a real long time. Born in the USA took decades for some to understand that was actually an anti-American sentiment protest song. But you're thinking, Born in the Mirror, that's me, bruh. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. There's some confusion to be had, perhaps. However, it's called American Idiot. How is it confusing to anybody? And also, sadly, what's even worse is that you just mentioned it's a 20-plus-year-old song, and it could not be more relevant. Like, that's what's crazy about it. I watching those quarterbacks have to come out on stage while American Idiot's being played live by Green Day was such a fever dream for me, and I loved it so much.
Who do you think was the most uncomfortable? Like, it had to be Peyton, right? Peyton just walking in is like, I wish they were singing. I wish they were singing Holiday again.
I know. I was thinking that. I was like, I don't know where everybody's minds and hearts are, but I'd imagine not everybody on that stage feels like we're American idiots right now, which is shocking, but here we are. I just loved it. I love that he clearly did not censor himself. The TV censored him for us, but they immediately go over to the drummer who's like, oops.
Ooh, we said a bad word. And those of you that are wondering, the lyric, I believe, to that part of the song was, God, it does drop an F-bomb. I texted you guys. It was the line. It was something like subliminal mind fuck America. Yeah. And it's a great line. I'll admit I was expecting a little more, but the fact they came out and literally sang 3 straight songs from American Idiot and tore the house down with American Idiot at the end. I mean, it was great.
Because look, at the end of the day, I guess with the exception of the idiots that don't know what Green Day is, we all know what that song is. They also spent the week, I think they played the FanDuel Super Bowl party and basically went on a rant telling ICE, all y'all better quit your jobs because they're coming for you. It was like, okay, so we know where they stand. I know Shane loved Green Day because he even posted about it.
Yeah, Shane, what was your thought on Green Day yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I was ready to go into a rampage if they were censored, but knowing what we know about Billy Joe Armstrong, he wasn't going to do this if they were censored. So I did have a pretty good idea that something was going to happen, and I'm glad that they let him do it because
I was shocked.
It's just music,
It's just music, and music again. Sports aren't supposed to be political. Entertainment's not supposed to be political. I'm like, what world or planet did some of y'all get raised on? All of those things, and especially music, are political. These are artists, they are creators who feel things, and the way they get those feelings out is through the music. So to say you're not political, that you just want a bunch of lobotomized moron robots walking around making all your entertainment. It's crazy to me. All of these things have been and will always be political, period. It's crazy. Yeah. I know one of those Gilbert Bombs or whoever that performed at the alternate halftime thing. I think some of his lyrics were, "I just want to kiss my kids and get in my." I was like, "Shut the fuck up, okay?" Maybe that guy's
Brantley Gilbert.
Oh, Gilbert Bombs, whatever.
Yeah, Brantley Gilbert.
I wouldn't know a Brantley Gilbert if he came in here and slapped me in the face. That's fine. I'll take it.
I wouldn't know a Brantley Gilbert if he came up to me, shook my head, and said, "Hi, I'm Brantley Gilbert." Just wouldn't know. Oh, by the way, we completely skipped over this. It is say you'll notice on the lower third it says alleged numbers. That is a very funny thing. The dipshits out there are really out there going like 6 million. It's like a YouTube record. Yeah, those. Yeah.
Also
about that. About that. So there is a fun thing that I noticed during this thing, and I went to a lot of people who know very well about how YouTube numbers work. And as you know, we are on YouTube. We're learning everything about YouTube as time goes forward. And there's one thing you can absolutely fake, but cannot fake. The thing you can fake is YouTube viewership. Not hard. I have been offered by multiple outlets to add so many bots to our own channel right now.
What? That's a thing?
Ton of times. I could pay $100 and get like 3,000 viewers, but they're not fucking real. They're just fake.
That's interesting.
The thing you cannot fake, however, is the amount of comments on YouTube. So if you have, say, 6 million viewers, the comment section will just fill out and go crazy. There was several times of the show where the numbers were allegedly high, yet there were no comments being said whatsoever. So much so that extreme right-wing correspondent Candace Owens firmly believes this is the most fraudulent bullshit thing that has taken place on the internet. And I do not like it when I agree with Candace Owens.
The Candace Owens versus Turning Point chapter of this life is interesting. It's going to play out very well. Interesting. I can't imagine anyone watching that. I mean that. If the year was 2004 and Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock were doing Photograph or Picture, or whatever the hell that song was called, maybe I'd watch that, but this ain't that. Whatever I saw was somebody's aunt who's been smoking, God knows, menthols her entire life, just wearing weird pants that he made himself, lip syncing horribly. And then other people with weird names. I just good luck. You know what? Hey, and I saw some of the more interesting thoughts that I saw, because I won't. They came in different forms, but the overall gist was the same. The same people that need to have their own entertainment at halftime are the same people that needed their own water fountains. Like, it's the same people. History. Rinse and repeat. Just rinse and freaking repeat. The only difference now is there are a lot more people around, present on the planet, and we're all a lot louder. And so it's just a constant barrage of like all of this. That's why you got to take a break sometimes.
So that is our assessment on the halftime show, the terrible Super Bowl, the great opening from Green Day, and of course, all you schmucks who love getting your money to really, really fraudulent Christian organizations. So that about cover that, Michelle?
I think you nailed it.
Nailed it. Hey, why don't we bring in Shane for something I'm really excited about, because after so many weeks, I have finally gotten the sound to work on Shane's Quick Hitters.
Very fun.
It's the little things in life, Shane, that really kind of get me going.
Very fun.
Let's do it, Shane.
I like that. That was good sound.
When you guys were in elementary school, did you have like class pets?
Like a turtle or something?
Yeah.
I had one that was a class snake.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was cool.
I don't know why I was thinking about this morning, but I remember in about 3rd or 4th grade, it might have even been sooner. One day, they just showed up with about 7 or 8 chicks, baby chicks.
Oh, cute.
In a Midwest Chicagoland area elementary school, and they just stayed in the classroom. What's the wildest thing?
Like at night and stuff?
Yeah, as far as I know. I have no idea what happened to those chicks before or after they showed up. What's the wildest thing to happen in your elementary school classroom?
Oh, God. You know what? It's funny because you asked about the pet thing. I'm almost sure we did. I feel like we had hamsters maybe at some point. It's also hard for me to remember because I might be confusing it with my own house, because at one point we had like hamsters, gerbils, birds, dogs. Like it was a full-on menagerie. So I can't remember. It was too long ago.
So I do remember this. I do remember, and it was kind of wild. I didn't have this class, but there was a class at Franklin Elementary School where one of the teachers, I think it was like a 4th grade teacher, had like a pet gigantic snake and left the snake in the classroom overnight and like it's snake. But a student could take a snake home for like the snake home for like a day or two and take care of the snake. And they like good students would like get the opportunity to take care of the snake for a day or two. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I never got a chance to do it. Outside of that, like I kind of look back going, it's kind of wild, huh? But
how
outside
big was
of that,
the snake?
Yeah, I feel like
fucking
today's
big.
Yeah, can you imagine trying to do that now with all the liability and
Yeah, no way.
Like it's the size of a snake that like Beyonce would fucking like be on the cover of an album with type of snake.
Yeah, no. Things that you think are cool when you're a kid. Not as
we
an
will
adult.
move on to sports. The 3 best edge rushers in football, Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, and Max Crosby, are all likely on the move. Trey Hendrickson, for sure, he's a free agent. Where do you see these guys showing up? And for a guy like Max Crosby, who's much older, is it worth a couple first-round picks and a NFL-ready player for someone of that age? Where are these guys ending up?
Man,
Poor Cody.
I know. Listen, it needs to happen. It needs to happen for Max Crosby's sake at this point. Raiders are not going to compete unless this new hire, Clint Kubiak, is really what they think he is. But I watched that game last night and I didn't see a shit ton of offense. I'm just thinking, man, wouldn't he be good on a team that like just needs an extra piece? A team like, for instance, the Buffalo Bills. Like, just could you imagine if the Buffalo Bills had a Max Crosby on the
That'd be fun.
Edge on defense, just tearing people's heads off? I mean, I know they need receivers, and I know defense probably isn't the first place they're looking.
Fair.
But that's Max fucking Crosby, man. And if he was on the Bills defense is just flat out better.
Also, Shane, can you imagine how rejuvenated Max Crosby's going to be at wherever new place he ends up? Like he's just.
Oh my God, all 3 of these guys.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
All 3 of them, because
Yeah,
they're good. There's like, but you know what? There was a sadness. Like Myles Garrett sort of signed up for it because he could have left, right? Like we kind of we lived that life for him for a while. Max had such a sadness about him this season, and there was that debacle of we're gonna deactivate him. He's like, I'm playing. Like it was just such a weird chapter. I don't know.
Poorly handled.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No.
So I'll be just like, I'll be happy to see wherever they end up, but also just joy in their faces again. Sad.
Yeah. By the way, a couple people in the chat, one is suggesting Max Crosby to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that would be a good pickup after what they lost last year. This one's interesting, just considering the edge rushers they already have. Max Crosby to Detroit would be.
Imagine him and Aiden Hutchinson on 2 different ends.
Oh my God! Are you allowed to do that? That seems like you shouldn't be allowed to.
Terrifying.
That's not right. That's not fair to others. Tavio says Max isn't leaving. So what to tell you two?
Sure. Okay. I'd be happy, but
yeah,
that guy wants fucking out so bad.
I mean, he just wants to win. Like, it's like the Giannis thing. I think he just wants to win at some point. And if some point there's just zero chance that's happening, then yeah, I gotta go.
Is Max?
All right, let's say
That's the
let's say
meanest
your
thing I've
house
ever read.
is on fire.
Okay.
Right?
I'm looking around like, okay.
Yeah, it's not actually, not yet at least. You get to take one material item with you, material that's not already on your person. So your phone, your purse, your wallet don't count.
Oh,
those
okay.
are normally on your person. What's the one material item you're taking with?
Am I home or am I here? Those are 2 different
You're
places.
home. You're fleeing your house.
Okay. Ooh, okay. This is a 2-parter. What do you got, Cody?
Can I take this entire studio or no?
No.
Yeah, you got to
okay,
pick
fine.
My
coffee.
What?
I'm picking my coffee maker. My coffee maker is coming with me. I love my coffee maker. It's just my mornings are better because of this coffee. I don't buy coffee out. Wait, what else am I gonna fucking take, Michelle? I can't take I get to take one thing.
That is the most replaceable thing ever.
So are my shoes, clothes. Technically, all of these things are replaceable.
So do you want my emotional answer or my materialistic answer?
No, I want material.
Oh, okay. Well, no, it's a material thing. Well, one would be the ashes of Poog and Leroy, but that's like emotional, and I don't, whatever. I cannot replace that. Although, ironically, after a fire, I suppose I'd just go and get more ashes. But that being said,
who's gonna know the difference?
At the end of the day, I'm gonna lie to myself.
Hey, check out this urn. Is it Poog? Maybe.
Matter of fact, how do I know it's Poog and Leroy in there now? I don't. I just trust. Materialistically, though, for value, I'm grabbing my watch case. Like, just, yeah, I know it's all insured and it's, money wise, fine. It'll all be fine. But if I'm just grabbing something real quick and everything is covered otherwise, like, I'll just grab the watches. Booyah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. If I have an emotional thing, I have one thing that's pretty good. It was a really lovely gift. My dad, as you guys know, wanted to be a voiceover guy, and my dad, even though like I wouldn't say he was ever an inspiration in my life, but he was kind of weirdly. I did all the things he wanted to do. He wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. He had no talent. I got to do that. He wanted to be a broadcaster and a DJ. He got opportunities, but never got to do it. And I've been doing it for 7 years. It's just kind of weird that I did all the things that were his dreams, but I do have this reel of his, and I think I've played it on the show before, of his demo reel because he had the coolest fucking voice of anyone in the world. I have it framed on my wall, and if there was one emotional thing I'd like to go grab, it would be that.
Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Why, Shane, have you thought about this?
No, I haven't. And I don't want to give a boring answer. Like, I think I can restart my life with my laptop, right?
Yeah.
Like you can do every single thing that you need to do with your laptop and phone. But I do have a couple nice watches, and I'd probably take my medication. That's material.
That's nice.
Medication I didn't even think about.
I didn't either.
Should I just put that in my purse so it's just always ready to go?
Yeah, my rosacea meds
leveled out.
Yeah, I'm gonna, and it's a fire, so I'm really gonna need my rosacea meds. So yeah, I'll take those.
But also replaceable. Like those things are also replaceable.
Right.
So yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Okay. Rookie James Pierce Jr. of the Falcons arrested and for domestic violence, domestic battery, domestic harassment of a WNBA player when he crashed his white Lamborghini SUV into her car, pinned her chased her down, did all this stuff. Now, I believe, and tell me if you guys agree with this, that an offense like this, whether you're a rookie or a veteran, in your respective league should result in a 1-year full suspension. Set the example. Should James Pierce Jr. should he be suspended for the year from the Falcons?
No question.
Yes. 100. By the way, he also hit a cop on purpose. So for all the Blue Lives Matter folks, that's kind of a big deal. But yes, they recently broke up. I mean, the context too is like they recently broke up and he just crashed out. Like that's unacceptable. That is not civilized behavior. So yeah, the rest of us would lose our gigs. Hell, I don't even know it'd be a year suspension. A lot of us would just be done. Like that's it. Go find something else to do. Just start. I'm with you. Make an example of this shit, man. Come on.
You know, you guys can say what you will about this. I don't think a year is enough. I really don't. I think this is some serious shit that needs to be handled. And obviously not only should the Falcons step in, the league should have to step in because a lot of these, like a lot of these leagues have harsher, and I do appreciate this, domestic violence rules, even though those rules are put in retrospect after somebody fucks up horribly over and over again. I agree with Michelle. An example needs to be set, period, stop.
It's crazy because it's sometimes some of this stuff, it comes and goes so quickly. And I think part of that is our news cycle is so packed, jam-packed 24/7. And we don't even have the time. Like technically I believe Jackson Hayes currently plays for the Lakers. There is video of him like hitting a girlfriend and nothing really happened to him. So like, it's kind of nuts how much shit probably goes by that we don't even know about or are learning about because we're focusing on other things. But man, yeah, you again, how long we've been told if you use your vehicle as a weapon, like, you 2 people you hit hard. So I'm with you.
I mean,
I'm making an example.
Like Richard Sherman, did much happen to him after he tried to beat down his girlfriend's dad's front door? And there's a video of that. And now he's this celebrated, heralded analyst on Amazon. People love Richard Sherman. Piece of shit.
I know. It's really hard. It's hard. Like it's sometimes you don't even know. I do give people a little bit of grace, and sometimes we are not aware of everything. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, no, but this one's bad. This one's clearly like you are out of control of your emotions, sir. You need to address that. Or it'll happen again.
All right, 2 more back to non-sports for you. When you're dating, what is a non-negotiable thing that you have to have in common?
Oh, in common?
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, I'll answer it as the guy. Is this, and Michelle, please correct me if this is not something on a woman's thing, because I think it varies from person to person, and I know it's not the most important thing in a relationship, but I would like them to have a similar sexual appetite as I do, to say the least. So because that is one compatibility, something I enjoy doing. So I hope they do too. And if it's just one of those things of like, well, I'm just not really into sex as much as you, then I think we're going to have a slight problem in the relationship.
Yes. I think that's a fair one. Because it will eventually be a problem.
Yes.
I promise. Jeet says, yeah, both have to be single.
That's fair.
I guess along those same lines is the ability to have conversation, just, on anything, quite frankly. For me personally, I want someone who's well-rounded enough to just shoot the shit about any and all things. Like, I don't like if I'm in a relationship. And by the way, just despite what I do for a living, I'm not talking 24/7. Like in a relationship, I actually can be very, very quiet. But when I do want to have conversations or somebody's intelligent and compelling and interesting, there's nothing better. So I suppose that would be mine.
It's funny. Somebody says here, gotta like the music that I like. Believe it or not, I actually like it when I date somebody that doesn't really like all the same things that I like. Because one, I see it as an opportunity to kind of like share the things that I like with them, and they might really like it as well, and vice versa. Like I've been dating a girl who's really into country music. I'm not into country music, but I've been listening to a lot more of it lately. More like modern country, not what Turning Point gave me yesterday with Babbly Gilbert and Gibbly Gabberts.
Gum gum deem deems. Now we're just making sounds. Yeah, I agree. Emotional maturity, by the way. I just recently found out that you can be in your 50s and still be a fuckboy. I did not know that prior to about 6 weeks ago. I did not know that. I thought there was an age cutoff. Oh, silly me. Turns out there's not.
I'm calling Michelle later. I need a story.
But a 50-something-year-old fuckboy is 1,000 times worse than a 30.
Yeah, I bet.
1,000. Because then you're like embarrassed for them. Like if you're in your 20s and 30s, you live it up, man. That's what you're supposed to do. But bruh.
By the way, it says right here that I like this. Someone willing to try your interests. That's Dale and Valencia. That I love that. I like when you start getting when you get into a relationship. I like learning new things that I wasn't into, and vice versa. I think there's it creates this new Venn diagram, and it keeps me from staying put. It keeps me learning.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you don't want to date yourself immediately, like certain parts of yourself that you love. Sure, I guess it'd be nice if they had those things, but I like to learn new things. I mean, look, I've taken, some of them are funny, some of them are pointless, some of them are actually lessons learned, but I've taken something away from any relationship I've had, good, bad, and ugly.
I do like this one. Terry just thinks you're on one today, Michelle.
I'm just rested, y'all. I'm just rested. Yeah. That's all.
It was just
I feel good.
Yes. Got any more, Shane?
Yeah, last one for you. The Falcons are not expected to keep Kirk Cousins on the active roster. Cody, do you want him there to train Fernando Mendoza, or is it just inevitable that he will likely be going back to Minnesota to kind of rear JJ McCarthy because they're not happy with him?
It seems inevitable that he's going back to Minnesota, but the moment I read that Kirk Cousins might be available, that was the first thing that came into my mind. I'm like, I would like Kirk Cousins over there to kind of mentor this kid. That might be great, because the truth is, I just don't know how good Geno is at it. But maybe Geno would be a very good mentor. I truthfully don't know. But also, I just keep looking at that Minnesota job that's fairly open because of the JJ of it all, and there's a couple of quarterbacks out there that I think might get themselves a job. Couldn't you see someone like Matt Jones, who did a really good job for the Niners in that system, going over to that system and actually somehow doing really well?
Sure.
Oh, that he's the okay.
Yeah.
The Kirk Cousins being the mentor to, that's actually kind of brilliant. That's
it kind of fits.
It's his mini me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that kind of like his son? Yeah. That's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, they're both a couple of cringy boys.
Both in Vegas. Like, it's kind of got reality written all. I don't hate that. I don't want Geno to lose a job. I just think it's a funny visual.
Yeah. I would agree. I would like it, to answer your question.
All right, wrap it there.
So I love it. Wrap it there. Hey, Michelle, did you know that other things are happening not long with the Super Bowl weekend? And I look really forward to talking to you about it because I'm actually a little surprised. Because listen, when the last Olympics were happening, even though it was the Summer Olympics, you and I were pretty into them at the time.
We were?
I got a little. I mean, it was
I like
going on. It was it was kind of a quiet time in sports
That's
at the time. So we were just
That's true.
we were a little more into it. The Winter Olympics are here. And I have to say, I normally am not a Winter Olympics guy. I do sometimes throw on curling because I can't get enough of cleanliness and brooming.
Sure.
The snowboarding of it all, like the big sky snowboarding competitions are usually pretty cool. But I gotten really into ice skating this last weekend. And I'm talking competitive figure skating. And there is a guy right now, Michelle, that's taking the world by storm. And he is known as the Quad God. He is a 21-year-old kid name. And this is why I can't believe you're not into him already. His name's Ilya, Michelle. He's an American kid named Ilya. Ilyas are taking Mina something. It doesn't matter. He's the Quad God. In fact, I got a few questions for you. One, I watched this guy coming in with so much hype. And he's been crushing it. He finishes in silver in his first go around, which, by the way, the only reason he finished silver is one, he looked a little nervous, and two, the guy that came and actually beat him was perfect in every single way. But then they got into the group competitions, and it was down to him and the Japanese star. And Ilya even fell during his routine, but his recovery since the fall gave even me goosebumps. He did a backflip landing on one foot. He did like 4 quadruple axles because that's where the name comes from. He's the quote unquote Quad God.
Quad God.
And I got to say, man, there was only one thing about him I really didn't like, and I'd like everyone's opinion on this. When he showed up to the Olympics, he was rocking his own merch that said Quad God on it. And I am not sure how I feel about it.
You know what, though? You know why you got to let it be? They don't get all year round every single year to pimp their merch. Like you get 1-2 week window every 4 years.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Like you better get as much of that shit out there as you possibly can. I mean, it helps that he's 21. He'll probably be around for quite some time. But you know what's funny? You said the backflip thing. I'm old enough to remember when Surya Bonali from France, who was a black figure skater in the 1990 whatever Olympics, and she was dealing with all kinds of bullshit. So much so that the backflip was actually an illegal move.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't even supposed to do it. And then towards the end of her performance, she's like, screw y'all. And she did it. And it was like, oh, and even the announcers were like, oh, she's over it. Yes. And then she did it in the sort of the exhibition that they do.
It was such a controversy that she did it. She did it in a practice run, and another skater that was on the ice, even though it wasn't anywhere near her, complained that the backflip was too close to her and it like got into her head psychologically and she was never the same again. I'm like, you are that harmed by seeing an African-American woman do a backflip? Fuck, you're soft.
Nah. No, she was an African-American, dude. She was French.
She was.
She's French.
Oh, sorry.
I just said she's from France.
Oh, no, I
know we're so brainwashed
American.
to say African-American. I'm like, nah, bitch. She's
I
from
legitimately
France.
thought she was American. I didn't hear you say French. My bad.
Nope. No, that was part of it too. Is like France doesn't have a great track record on race relations, but that's all right.
Well, ours is so stellar.
Yeah, I know exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like it was a big deal. I remember my mom and I couldn't get enough Surya Bonali. I was like, oh my god, she was doing things no one else could even think about. And now I kind of love that the backflip is just like, yeah, we do backflips now. Like, cool.
No problem.
She was a pioneer.
She
for
really
sure.
was.
I'll try to watch. You know what? I'll probably end up watching hockey a little bit. I'd like to get other feeds. That's my thing. I got to figure out VPNs or however that stuff works.
I will admit some of the programming has not been top notch in my experience this last weekend.
It's also tape delayed, isn't it? Like
yeah,
it's hella tape delayed. I don't care for that.
It hasn't been amazing, but I'd also be remiss not to mention this. You guys know that Lindsey Vonn had a really nasty crash this weekend. It was after she had already like hurt her entire knee, tore it all up. And what was amazing is on this run, her crash was so ugly. It wasn't even caused by her knee at all. It was just a freak accident while in the air at very high speeds. Like her, what's the thing that you hold on to when you're skiing? I'm so sorry. What are those things called?
Poles?
The poles? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
the pole on her right hand hit a flag. So while in the air, she got spun mid-air and landed horrifically hard. It was a very tough one to watch. All you can
Yeah.
really see when she lands is just a cloud of smoke, and she had to be airlifted off of the actual mountain. It was tough to see.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, man, it would have been so badass if she had been able to pull that off. Like, to be on a ruptured ACL and even contemplate the idea that you're going to go ahead and continue to compete.
It was
insanity.
cool. And
it's insane. And for the story, I was just like, oh, this would be badass. I have seen that since her dad basically was just like, yeah, I hope she's done. I mean, she's 41, but she's also a tough broad. So I would, nothing would shock me with Lindsey Vonn. But yeah, I did see, again, I saw that before. Yeah, I saw that on my social media feeds. And then I guess they showed it on TV after the fact, but that's a tough one. That's a bummer.
Yeah, it was a bit ugly, but hey, I wish her a speedy recovery, and if she wants to come back, great. But I'm with you. 41 years old. Next time the Olympics, she would be probably 45 years old. I just don't see a world, but you never know. Let's real quick before we wrap this up. Let's go ahead and shiggle real quick because
shiggle.
Never go wrong with the shiggles. Michelle, I'm going to make mine really, really, really quick. There is a social media influencer, and I really hate that I'm referring to him as anything because I never really heard of this fucking guy until a couple of weeks ago. It was at one of the Jake Paul fights or something like that, where he tried to start some shit and a guy absolutely wrecked shop and beat up his whole security detail.
Okay.
This is a dipshit named Jack Doherty, and apparently he looks as dipshittery as you can possibly imagine. Well, good news, America. It wasn't always that the white young dipshits get away with murder, because this man has now been officially not only expelled and kicked out of the Waste Management Phoenix Open, which I gotta say is an incredible feat that you got kicked out of the Waste Management Phoenix Open. They allow you to literally murder things there. Yet he was kicked out because he paid a fan to constantly yell in people's backswings, like right behind them, just a bunch of bullshit. He then videotapes himself outside getting banned from PGA. The PGA has threatened to arrest him if he ever shows back up to a PGA event. And then he went home and released this crying video about, all of you guys are soft. You're all so soft. What a little bitch. Love it.
What? Wait, but he's the one crying. Why is he calling everybody else soft? He's crying. I'm confused. Do I not know what soft means anymore?
Apparently.
Isn't the one bitch baby crying because he got kicked out of an event that he totally did some dumb contrived trick? Isn't that the soft one? Or do I just not understand the phrase?
No, that's the soft one. He cries wolf. He carries around a security team and he just fucks with people. And if you try to get back at him, he just hides behind his security team. And
he's an internet troll, but in 3D.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Dear God.
His loophole for this one was paying somebody else to scream during the backswing. And then when he was caught, to cry wolf.
Yep.
Why is it always like that? The ones that are the most annoying and obnoxious, the minute you say anything back, I had a few of those this weekend. They literally cry. They cry like little babies. Like, then just sit down. Nobody asked you to come be a douche.
Yeah, how about that guy you called fat?
Oh, Gabe, the horse dude. I don't know what the fuck that guy was thinking. If you're going to come at me and try to insult me by calling me Menopause Michelle, which I've never even heard that before.
They do call
and then
you
I
that.
go
they
back
call
to
you Menopause Michelle. That's what we call you in my house.
It's actually in my phone.
Also, who's they, by the way?
When you call me, it says Menopause Michelle every single time. So I get it.
By the way, maybe I am in menopause and maybe I'm not. Either way, okay. But here's what doesn't change. The fact that was a rosy-cheeked fat incel. And he didn't like it that I called him that. He called him fat. And then other people called him fat. And then I let it be. So that was it. Don't come at people if you don't want it back. Like, we're no longer living in the polite times.
Yeah.
Now it's just say whatever the hell you want, apparently.
Also, is it insult? I don't get why it is insulting to call someone that's overweight fat. It's just factual. I was fat. I've been fat before.
No, that's what I'm saying. He is fat. I simply said, well, I've never been called that, but I could see why you've been called the following things. That's all I said. I thought it was
completely fair.
To be fair.
See it.
Technically, you didn't call him that. You just said you can see why others have.
I could see why. I could see why women don't talk to you. I could see a lot of things. That's just how it works. Shane, what do you have?
Okay, so you guys remember when the White Sox, for the first time in a long time, spent big money on a promising young player.
Yes.
25-year-old out of Japan. They gave him
Uh-oh.
$17 million per.
I don't like this.
Munetaka Murakami.
Yeah.
And he's already changing the organization. The first day that he walked into spring training, he realized, hey, you guys don't have bidets. Can we get bidets in here? So the White Sox are installing bidets.
Slay.
Now the White Sox have repaid Munetaka Murakami for his youthfulness and relevance that he's bringing to the White Sox by misspelling his name on his locker plate day one of spring training.
Damn it.
It says Munetaki Murakami instead of Munetaka Murakami. Day one, he put on his Instagram story just like a, like a one of these faces where you put your fingers up to your chin, like, what's going on? And then a laughing emoji. But day one, the guy is going to be the face of your franchise, Munetaki Murakami.
By the way, I must follow this kid now because that's actually
he's
really
good
funny.
on Instagram. He's really good on Instagram.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to find him on here. Damn you,
Munetaka Munetaka.
I just
it better pop up quick.
I'm just saying it's one of those things where White Sox got a White Sox. Nothing can actually good ever happen. They have to end up doing something stupid like this.
I mean, I don't even. Okay, wait. How do you spell his name? I don't want to get it wrong now.
Munetaka. Munetaka.
K-A. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to follow him because that's just brilliant.
Gold.
Yeah,
that's a great start, kids.
Poor dude, man. He's already got the clubhouse turning around, and they can't spell his name right.
that is such a quick fix. I just double check it because I promise you, there is no way that whoever's job it is to put all the spellings together and get the labels made and get the there's no way that they were 100% secure and that they had that right. So you would think that would have been double and triple checked.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
You sure as hell would think.
Wow, that's brilliant. By the way, mine's a downer, but it's also one of the more lovely things that happened. I don't know if anybody caught the Puppy Bowl or at least saw bits and pieces. I think most of us just catch pieces at this point. But there was a puppy named Tegan, who was the wheelchair puppy who broke the hearts of first we fell in love, then we all went down the rabbit hole to look more into Tegan. And for those of us who don't know this, they actually film the Puppy Bowl like weeks and weeks and weeks ago. So between the time that they taped Puppy Bowl and yesterday when it aired, Tegan, who had been born with neurological issues and had a curved spine and was just out there crushing, had a really bad pneumonia and died. And so all of us are falling in love with Tegan and then getting on the computers and just going, why would you do this to us? But it was honestly, I kind of love that they just put a little pup out there because I don't know if you guys have ever been, if you've worked at a shelter or whatever, and you see the ones in the wheelchairs and part of you is you feel bad and then you realize, oh no, they're hustling. They are out there hustling. And so for me, Tegan was my sweet memory from the weekend.
Love it.
It's like when you have to amputate a dog's leg. They don't know the difference.
They don't. We had that with one of our Rottweilers growing up. Never even slowed him down for a second. I was just because I thought, oh, his life's going to be over.
It reminds me of my favorite episode of Letterkenny when he's they're trying to get him to feel bad about people on the reservation. And he just goes, look, we're short on money. And they bring out a kid. And he's like, nope, I don't really care for kids. And then they brought out a 3-legged dog. And he was like, no. A 3-legged dog.
A 3-legged dog, baby girl and
so
boy.
Good. So good.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. Well, what do you say we wrap things up, Michelle, and let's go ahead and reflect.
Okay.
I'll go first, Michelle, and this might actually surprise you because my reflection is about your sport, and I just want your opinion. I'm a little disappointed. Last week we had ourselves a trade deadline, and Giannis stays put.
Yeah,
I am
for now.
But what can I say? For you, disappointing trade deadline. It was a little bit for me, just because of what could have happened.
No, only because we knew the math behind the Giannis thing, and it was going to be very difficult to pull off. And some of those teams, especially if they don't finish the season the way you know this. Like when they don't finish the season the way they want to, only two teams get to go to the finals. There's gonna be a lot more movement, and some of those, you know, the New Yorks of the world will have a lot more as by way of bargaining chips that they could not have possibly had last week. So I think he is going to get moved. And my goodness, I didn't know Bucks fans were so sensitive. Like I didn't. It's just good old Midwestern, but they were mad, man. All I said was he doesn't want to. He's going to leave. Like he doesn't want to be there, and he's playing all the semantics games to make it seem like he didn't say that. But for those of us with agents, we know how this works. You've said a lot of stuff to a lot of people, and we know. And now we're gonna all be mad at the people who are telling you this. Like it's craziness to me. They can all apologize come July, August when he's somewhere else to me, and that you know where to find me since you found me in the first place. But yeah, like it was interesting. I thought you were talking about his weird partnership with Kalshi.
I was gonna throw in there. Well, at least he probably made millions off of Kalshi somehow. Which again, I do not understand how this is fucking legal.
No, this one's weird. This one, even for me, who's like, I don't really care. And look, Adam Silver in a couple days here, All-Star festivities start kicking off. He's gonna do his Adam Silver State of the Union. Gonna take questions from the media. I would have to imagine that comes up just because it's not that that's a partnership per se, because we do know that the LeBron and DraftKings and KD, I think, does stuff with us at FanDuel. But this is such a specific prop bet organization. Like it just feels weird to me. That's all I can say. For lack of a better and more coherent statement, something feels off. That's all. Okay. But he must have gotten approvals, because there's no way you make that kind of a deal without it. So it's kind of nuts.
Shane, do you have anything you're reflecting on?
Yeah, mine was going to be Tegan, the puppy bulldog.
But
unlike Michelle, she wants to laugh at it. I don't want to laugh at it.
Jesus.
So I put it in reflections, but she put it in shiggles, which is
no, because the shits. It's the shits of it all.
Okay.
It's not the most shits and giggles.
That was the one good commercial. Thank you for reminding me. The Will Shat commercial. That was funny.
The which one?
It was where Will Shatner, it was for Raisin Bran, and it was all about Will Shatner, who called himself Will Shat and kept walking around with these poo jokes. He's like, okay, is that a Shih Tzu? And it was just endless weird shit things where he's handing out Raisin Bran as Will Shat. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Shane.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. You just laugh at dead dogs.
No, we love Tegan. Tegan is, I mean, when I first saw that dog come out and just all the other dogs like curious, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yep. Puppy Bowl is a brilliant thing to do. I already forgot what my reflection was. Oh, you know what? My reflection is going to be on A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because before Rocky left, he told us he was going to watch the first episode, and I remember he was like, there was a poop scene in it that he was not sure about. Well, of course, that was what got me to watch it. So I was like, oh, you had me at poop scene. And by the way, it was hilarious. I don't know why Rocky's being all sensitive about bowel movements. That being said, the show is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Like, we are so back, Game of Thrones people. Like, it is this last episode from yesterday over the weekend. It just perfect. My only complaint is that I always have to wait a week, which everyone knows I'm impatient. But more than that, they're such short episodes. I'm just like, I wish they would have just made a 3-hour movie and given us that. That's my only complaint, but I am all in.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And I'm all in that this was a very fun show today. And those of you that stayed with us throughout the day, sorry for the late start. Had a little bit of technical issues with our YouTube channel, but we are back. Michelle, you will be back with us on Wednesday. So obviously enjoy the rest of the day and tomorrow. Tomorrow, co-hosting on Beadle and Decker is Tyrone Johnson. Cannot wait to work with Tyrone for a day. Then, of course, Michelle on Wednesday. Thursday, the return of Keith Irizarry. And Friday, the return of Jen Piacenti. Great stuff happening all week on Beadle and Decker, and a lot of great stuff in the future. And thank you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, on Twitch, and watch out for the podcast. Share that with your friends. And it's just good to see you guys again. I missed you guys last week. It's good to see you all.
Yeah, it's good times. Good times, bitches. Yeah. Oh, and as always, R.I.P. Estelle Getty.